Dear students and viewers, welcome to our discussion on understanding the environment. This topic is taken from Unit 1 of Module 13, Sustainable Development and Environmental Issues. In today's discussion, Dr. Abu Sadek Muhammad Selim is participating with me. We introduce you the underlying concepts of the natural and physical environment. Before going to detailed discussion, let us know first what is the environment. Simply, the environment means our surroundings. At the most basic level, it refers to our home, our community, our workplace and our world. The term environment refers to all living and non-living things that affect the life of an organism or population. The environment is also composed of social surroundings and conditions. This is in brief about environment. Let us know about the physical environment. The physical or natural environment supports all lives on the earth. It consists of 4 important parts. These are atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere and biosphere. Let me discuss each of these parts one by one. First, the atmosphere. The atmosphere is the mixture of gases. These gases are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide and some other inert gases. The next one, hydrosphere. Hydro means water, sphere means zone. Water on and below the ground of the earth covers the hydrosphere. For example, lakes, rivers, ponds, ocean and underground streams, all these are part of hydrosphere. The third one is lithosphere. Lithosphere is the hard, rigid upper crust of the earth's surface. It consists of rocks, minerals, soils, fossil fuels, etc. The last one is biosphere. Biosphere is very important for the animal kingdom including human being, because all living organisms and animals exist in the biosphere. The biosphere consists of the lower part of the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, and the upper part of the lithosphere. This zone is approximately 2 kilometers thick. Dear students, after this discussion, a valid question may arise in your mind that how this natural or physical environment operates. Let us know details from Dr. Salim. Dr. Salim, please.
Thank you, Dr. Topazul Islam. Yes, the natural environment operates as an ecosystem, and the ecosystem is usually a natural functional unit. In the ecosystem, all living things such as animals, vegetations, organisms, and of course the people coexist and interact with the non-living things such as soil, air, water, and mineral to form a stable and self-sustaining system. However, the interactions are based on the exchange of materials and energy cycle. Dear students, the terrarium is a big glass jar closed with the ecosystem of insects, animals, soil, air, and others existing in it. Dear listeners, the interaction of living and non-living things on an ecosystem involves the process of the flow of energy, the cycling matters, and the regulation of populations of organisms. Dear students, let us know this process one by one. First, the flow of energy. The life form require energy to maintain their bodies and perform their activities. The primary source of energy is light from the sun. The plants store and capture light energy from the sun and then transfer into chemical energy through a process that we call the photosynthesis. Let us know detail of the process of photosynthesis. Here, chlorophyll in the green plants captures solar energy in presence of carbon dioxide and water to produce carbohydrates. This is the only process where solar energy is transferred into chemical energy. Dear students, now let us see more details of the process of photosynthesis in the diagram. Inside the green leaves, a series of chemical reactions take place to produce sugar from the solar energy. In the nature, the plants are eaten by animals, and after that other animals are eaten by these animals, and we call this is the food chain. Dear students, there are 4 levels of food chains. Let us discuss in details. There are 4 levels in a food chain. They are producer, consumer, decomposer, and scavenger. First, producer. Green plants are known as producers because they manufacture their own food from carbon dioxide, water, minerals, and sunlight through the process of photosynthesis. Next, consumers. There are 3 types of consumers: primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Herbivores are known as primary consumers as they eat plants. Carnivores that eat herbivores are known as secondary consumers, and carnivores that eat other carnivores are known as tertiary consumers. Dear students, next come decomposer. Bacteria and fungi are known as decomposers. They break down waste materials and dead plant and animal tissue into humus and minerals. Dear student, next come scavenger. Small animals or detritus feeders are known as scavengers, and they feed on decomposing materials. Dear students, up to this we have learned about the flow of energy in natural environment. Now, Dr. Tufazul Islam will discuss another important issues of the natural environment, that is the cycling materials.
Thank you, Dr. Selim. The cycling of matter is an important phenomenon in the world. We know matter consists of many elements and molecules that make up different gases, vitamins, proteins and other nutrients of life. We also know that the total matter in the world is constant and cycles through different forms from living to non-living things. We also know that the total amount of matter in the world is constant and cycles through living and non-living matters. The cycling of matter is driven by the sun and other flow of energy. When decomposers release mineral elements from the decayed plant bodies or dead plant bodies, the released nutrient elements is uptaken by the roots of plants, and then again when plant dies, then the elements goes to the soil and this eventually comes again to the plants by the absorption of the root of the plant, and this is the process which is continuing all over the world, and thus the cycling of matter is a universal phenomena in all the ecosystems. Wherever it happens, the cycling of matter occurs and driven by the solar energy directly or indirectly. Therefore, all the matter in different forms and different rates, they are cycling, including nitrogen, phosphorus, all other elements also cycling in the nature. Do you know the nitrogen cycle? Nitrogen is an important and essential element for the growth and development of plants and all other living organisms. Nitrogen is also an important gas in the air. Let us know details about the nitrogen cycle from the diagram. The nitrogen cycle represents one of the most important nutrient cycles found in terrestrial ecosystems. Nitrogen is one of the major elements required for plants and animal growth. It is used by living organisms to produce a number of complex organic molecules like amino acids, proteins and nucleic acids. The main store of nitrogen in the atmosphere where it exists as a gas. It is transformed into soluble form by bacteria in the soil and water or by lightning fixation in the atmosphere. Plants use this form of nitrogen to make protein, which then re-enters the soil as plant matter decays and dies. Animals obtain nitrogen by eating plant materials and other animals and release nitrogen in their excreta and when their bodies decay. In the soil, nitrogen is stored as organic matters which decompose and transformed into various ionic forms by a variety of bacteria, actinomycetes and fungi. A portion of the nitrogen is then transformed into gaseous nitrogen and come to the atmosphere by heterotrophic bacteria. The process is called denitrification, thus completing the nitrogen cycle. Similarly, other elements such as phosphorus, carbon, potassium, sulfur, zinc, all the elements have cyclic movement in the nature. Dear students, not only the elements, water also have cyclic movement in the nature. The cyclic movement of water in the nature is called water cycle or hydrological cycle. Let us know details of water cycle from the diagram. Earth's water is always in movement, and the water cycle, also known as hydrologic cycle, describes the continuous movement of water on and above the surface of the earth. Since the water cycle is truly a cycle, there is no beginning or end. When rain falls on the land, some of it quickly evaporate and come to the atmosphere. There is constant evaporation from lakes, river, and from the ocean. Plants and animals also release water to the atmosphere by transpiration and sweating. The energy for all these evaporation comes from the sunlight or the energy from the sun. Some of the precipitated water runs off the surface of the land into streams, lakes, and some percolates down to the through the soil to accumulate groundwater. The water in rivers and lakes as well as the surface groundwater eventually finds its way to the ocean. Some of the precipitated water is absorbed by plants and drunk by animals. The endless cycling of water precipitation as rain, snow and hail, its return to the atmosphere through evaporation and subsequent return to the earth as rain maintains the various sources of fresh water necessary for life on land. This is in short the water cycle. The water cycle also playing very important role in modifying temperature of the environment and transporting the different chemical compounds and elements through the ecosystem. Dear students, in a given ecosystem, all the components living or non-living, they are interdependent with each other and they are interacting with each other. Due to their continuous interaction and interdependence, an equilibrium is established. However, with the industrial revolution, humans became the capable of dramatically changing the face of the environment, the quality of atmosphere and of its water. Today, because of rapidly increasing of population and the advancement of the technology, the environment is now under serious pressure of human activities. Therefore, the degradation of environment are affecting the life on the earth. Therefore, we can see several disasters all over the world such as global warming, hurricane, tsunami, excessive rainfall, sea level rise and so many other disasters threatening the life on the earth. How could we escape from these type of disasters? Therefore, what we can do, we can preserve our environment, we can save our environment for the survival of our future generation, for the survival, for the better life of our young people. So, our slogan should be save the environment, save the earth. This is all about our today's discussion. If you have any query, please write to us. Our contact address is Dean, School of Agriculture and Rural Development, Bangladesh Open University, Gazipur 1705. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a nice time to you.